All right, Mr. Taliaferro, how's everybody doing out here? Let's read a quote from Kawhi Leonard after winning Game 6 versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The question was from a reporter, Kawhi, out there on the court, it seems like your president, Masai Ujiri, said you were the best player in the league and you play in Toronto. What does it feel to hear that said about you, and how do you feel like you've established yourself in that position during this playoff run? Kawhi Leonard responded by saying this: I don't really judge my game like that. I'm more of a team aspect, see what my team is doing. I just want to win type of player. I don't care about being the best player. I just want to be the best team. I've always said that. Just before the season, when we made this trade, Masai felt that way about me. He told me how he felt and why he made the trade. It's turning out well for now. We're in the finals, and we're not done yet. That really got me to thinking, man. Again, we're continuing this conversation that a lot of people are having today. Has Kawhi Leonard earned that spot as the best player in the game? I like his answer. He was humble about it. You know, I compared this dude to Michael Jordan in regards to his game. It's similar to Mike's, probably just as much as even Kobe's. They look, when I watch Michael Jordan highlights, him and Kawhi, the way they move around on the court, it looks similar, right? Now they're taking the same approach in the media. Obviously, Michael Jordan was a much more outspoken person. But one thing Michael Jordan would never do, out of respect to the people that came before him, he would never say, I'm the best player in the game. He said, he always would just kind of undermine that question. And I always loved that about Mike. Kawhi taking a similar approach, saying, look, I don't care about being the best in the game. That's cool and all. But what about the team that you're on? What about being the best team possible and everything else just kind of falls in line? Because at the end of the day, it's all subjective. Right, it is at the end of the day, like what I believe, what you believe. And as long as Kawhi is in that conversation of that tier, I think he's fine, right? What do you guys think? Kawhi Leonard the best in the game to you guys? He said he don't really worry about that. I've already told you guys the best player in the game award can be taken by Kawhi Leonard this year. If Steph Curry is unbelievable, then I think he could possibly have a chance at that. Steph's got to be unbelievable because, number one, he doesn't play a lot of defense. And number two, he's been okay at best in the finals to his standard. He hasn't been better than the Steph Curry that we've seen in the regular season and the first few rounds in the playoffs so far in the finals throughout his career. So if he's spectacular, I think he could possibly snatch that award. I can't argue with, 4 championships, two MVPs, and then maybe 1 finals MVP, since there's going to be no KD for at least a game or 2, right? But Kawhi, if his Raptors team win the series, obviously for the Raptors to win, it means he was great. So if Kawhi, and if the Raptors just win, Kawhi's the best player in the game. As simple as that. If Steph's phenomenal, I think he could make a case that he's the best in the game. If not for that, if the Warriors struggle, I think maybe KD would come back in that conversation. If KD doesn't play in the series, then in the Warriors struggle, maybe it was KD. And then he goes to the Knicks. A strong case could be made for KD. You know, if KD comes back, let's say the Raptors go out and win the first 2 games of this series, and then KD returns for game 3, and then the Warriors go on and win the series. Like, then I think, another case can be made for Durant. I think that best player award is up for the taking. I had gave it to Giannis probably a year too early. It's still out there. Kawhi can't snatch it, whether he'll admit it or not. It's up for grabs. A lot of money is going to be up for grabs. And by the way, you know how Kawhi really doesn't like talking and he does a little laugh. It's ugly. It's cringeworthy. That's a brand. Like, people are going to pay good dollar for him. Brands are going to create commercials around him this summer, right? Like, think about that. And if he adds a championship to that and people start saying he's the best in the game, we're talking about 20 upon 50 millions of dollars available for Kawhi this summer. He might not care about the title best player in the game, but I'm sure Kawhi Leonard cares about the money that comes with being top 2, maybe the best in the game. So we'll see what happens for Kawhi and his uncle this summer. That starts, though, with him and his championship run that he's looking to complete against the Golden State Warriors. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro. Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro. Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV. Here with the Triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.